Alright, so very soon on Global Dokkan, we are going to be getting the EZA event for the LR Gogeta. Now, similar to the Vegito's EZA event, I mean, it's extremely easy. Dude, the weakness is pure sand. So, I mean, most players are going to have an absolute breeze with this and the Vegito's EZA event. But, I don't know, I figure for maybe newer players or players who don't play that often, maybe I could give a couple pointers for units you're going to want to bring. But for your average player, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You probably don't have to watch this whole video. Just bring a lot of LR AGL pure sand units, and you should be fine, right? Because, of course, I mean, pure sand is a pretty top-tier category, right? A lot of really good additions. Of course, JP is looking a little bit better. They've got more options. Of course, they've got, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. They've got Turles right here, which is a pure Saiyans lead. But overall, I mean, it's a good category, even on Global. So I think we definitely should have a very easy time with this. But again, I still wanted to do this video because, like I said, maybe newer players or, you know, players who don't play that often might need a little bit of help. So I guess just to start off, the best lead you could probably bring would be Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. He is unfortunately only a 170%, and there are other 200% leads, but the reason I say Evolution Blue Vegeta is the best is because, well, these guys are 200% leads, most of them have type disadvantage, so they're not really going to be doing any damage whatsoever. And there is the Super Vegeta, but I don't recommend bringing him because he only gives 130% to HP, so of course you're going to want that little bit of, you know, extra stats with this guy because he's just 170% all around. And this guy's still really good. You know, he gets a lot of attack and defense on his supers, and he can do a lot of supers. He does build up as well for some defense. And then he does have the transformation. Now, in this EZA event, I mean, he's going to be fine. But overall, not really that impressed with this guy's kit. I feel like they probably could have made him a little bit better on release. More specifically, my issue is the supers, the additionals that he's doing. They only have a rare chance of becoming a super. So that's a 15% chance. They probably could have made that, like, you know, medium chance, maybe a high chance, something like that. But is what it is. Still, he's doing a lot of supers, or a lot of attacks, I guess, because the 2 additional attacks are guaranteed. And then he does build up a 70% chance to crit. So, of course, with crits and having type advantage, he's still going to be doing a lot of damage. But just keep in mind, technically, he is a TUR. And, of course, for units to do a lot of damage in LR EZA events, they do have to have the legendary power link. So, you know, they have to be an LR. So he's not going to be doing as much damage as LRs. But with the crits, the additionals, type advantage, he'll still put in some work. And again, I think he is the best lead you could bring in here. So definitely a good option to just bring on the team in general, even if you're not using him as a lead. Because, like I said, you know, his damage can be pretty good. And then next up, we have the EZA God Goku. Now, this guy is a Pure Sans lead for 150%. So only 150% to Pure Sans definitely isn't the greatest. But, I mean, you could still make it work. You know, this category is insane. Most units don't need, you know, that crazy of a percentage leader buff to be good. I think 150 will definitely still be enough. And he does give 4 ki. So, you know, there definitely is that. He does also get extra stats for Pure Sans or Hybrid Sans category allies. And of course, because the weakness is Pure Sans, I'm assuming most people are going to be running a full Pure Sans team, obviously making this guy look a lot more impressive. So yeah, I mean, he's an LR2, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. He's got the crits and the dodge for the first 10 turns, so that's basically covering the whole EZA fight, right? So, I mean, he's definitely going to look pretty impressive. He's got a good link set too. So overall, a good option to bring in here. If you're going to run him as a lead, I would only run him as a lead if you don't have these other options. I know I just got done saying that, you know, these guys have type disadvantage and this guy only 130% to HP. But I still think they're probably going to be better just because, I mean, defensively they're fine. Well, I don't know about this guy, but if you have God Goku and you're thinking about bringing him as a lead, I mean, again, defensively he's going to be fine. You know, he gets the 3 orbs, he has the dodge, and then he'll have the guard. You know, he's stacking as well. So, I mean, even though he has type disadvantage, he's not going to get destroyed in here. But I would say just for the little bit of extra damage, still lean towards Evolution Blue Vegeta if you have him. But if you have to run these 2 guys, I mean, you could still do it because, of course, God Goku will provide most Pure Saiyan units with the 200%, which, of course, is better than, you know, running this guy who's only 150%. But just keep in mind, not only is he not an LR, so he's not going to be doing that much damage, but he has type disadvantage, so he's basically going to be doing, like, no damage whatsoever. But still, with his leader skill, it'll be useful. But back to this God Goku. Yeah, a good unit. You know, he's carrying over a lot of attack and defense for 5 turns. So, of course, you know, throughout the fight, his attack and defense will get higher and higher. So, definitely a good option to bring because, of course, he's an LR, so he'll do a lot of damage. All right, and then next up, we've got the Carnival LR Goku. Of course, this guy just came out, so if you did manage to pull him, I think running him is definitely going to be pretty smart. I mean, you know, he's stacking. He's a really crazy unit. I mean, he just came out, so a lot of you probably know what he does. You could run him as a lead, I guess, if you want to run like a sub-Turtle School team. Because, I mean, if you're running a full Goku team, I mean, you know, they're all on Turtle School. So technically, you probably could get away with just running him as a lead. But I don't know, if you've got a couple other units in there that aren't Turtle School, obviously, you know, you can't run this guy as a lead. But it's still possible. And if you do have him, you should throw him on the team no matter what. Because even though his damage doesn't really get that crazy until he gets this buff right here, which typically is later in the fight, because he is an LR that has type advantage and is still a reasonably hard-hitting unit even before he gets that buff, you know, he's still going to perform very well in here. So I think bringing him is definitely a smart option. But again, I won't talk about him for too long. A lot of you probably know what he does. You know, he literally just came out. So next up, we do have the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku. So this guy just got his EZA. So of course, a lot of people probably have it. And he's really impressive. You know, he gets the damage reduction on key spheres. He gets the crit chance. He's getting extra stats if they're Super Saiyans category allies. I mean, you should have at least some of this activated. You might not be running a full Super Saiyans team, but obviously a couple of Super Saiyan units here and there that will probably give him a little bit of that buff. So that definitely is good. He is also a Rainbow Orb Changer, which obviously benefits the whole team as well. So I think just a good unit to bring. I mean, he's doing a lot of damage. Once again, he's an LR who has type advantage. So between his high damage, just in general, and the crits he has built in, and him just being good for this event because, you know, he has type advantage and he's an LR, I mean, dude, he's just going to destroy this event. So if you have him EZA'd, you definitely should bring him because, you know, obviously, very good unit, right? And then next up, we do have UI Goku. So I just noticed most of the units I'm talking about are either featured on the headlining anniversary banners or have something to do with the 8th year anniversary. So you should have a lot of these options here. But this guy especially is going to be really crazy. You know, he's doing a lot of damage with all of his additionals and crits. Once again, he's an LR who has type advantage. So of course, he knows he's going to be really useful. He's got the dodge. So, I mean, he's basically taking no damage because he's dodging everything. And he does have the revive as well. I doubt you're going to get it in an EZA event, but, you know, it's still possible, I guess. Keep in mind he has it. And of course, he does have the active skill as well. The condition is that you have to be above 50% HP on turn 4, so it is very possible you'll see this in the fight. I mean, typically, you know, the later stages in the EZA event do go to turn 4, so I definitely think this will be pretty beneficial, especially if it's critting and all that. But yeah, overall, a good option to bring. I mean, not really much to talk about. He's going to be doing a lot of damage, and he's an LR who has type advantage, so can't really go wrong with running him on the team. But then finally on the list, we do have the LR Goku and Vegeta, this LR Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta. So they are also featured on one of the anniversary banners. So once again, I'm sure a lot of you probably have them. You probably couldn't run a sub team with them because Join Forces and Movie Heroes, I feel like it's too specific to include a lot of pure Saiyan units. But, well, I guess maybe you could if you want to run some non-AGL units. I guess, I mean, you could throw Kale and Caulifla on there. You could throw maybe LR Gods on there, some of the 3rd year anniversary fusions. So, I mean, you could probably make it work with them as a lead, but it would be kind of difficult and you would need very specific units. But still, just bring them in the event is going to be very useful. I mean, dude, they're insane, right? They do a lot of damage, and they're an LR who has type advantage. So, again, you can't really go wrong with them. They do also have the morale boost, which you're probably not going to get this in the fight. It's pretty difficult to get in any event, let alone an EZA event. That's typically pretty short. So you probably won't get that, but again, they'll still be very good. They get additional ki in their kit, so ki isn't really going to be an issue with them. They also have additionals built in, so obviously more damage. And of course, they have the damage reduction. I think it's 40% damage reduction for the first 3 turns because, yeah, they got the 20% right here and then the extra 20% for the first 3 turns. So definitely a good unit. They also got some crits built in. Just figured I could throw that out there if you get the 18 ki, which because they give themselves extra ki, that shouldn't really be an issue. So yeah, definitely a good unit overall. I guess we can briefly go over the morale boost. Again, you're not really going to be getting this, but I guess there's a slight chance you will if you don't really do that much damage. And then, yeah, I mean, when you get this, he's pretty good. He has more damage reduction. He has a higher chance to do the additional super. I think he has a high chance to crit. Oh, no, it stays medium chance. Okay, so basically you're just getting a higher chance to do the additional super, which I guess is always a good thing, right? And then, of course, he does have the active skill. So definitely a good unit to bring. That pretty much wraps up the video. I mean, those are the main units you're going to want to bring. Of course, they were mostly just the, you know, LRs that have type advantage. I guess we can talk about this guy, too. A lot of people probably have him as well. He EZA'd, obviously, during the previous year's anniversary. Very good unit. I guess the same applies with him, with this guy, with running him as, like, a sub-lead. Because, as I was saying, if you're running a full Goku team, then, you know, you could throw this guy as the lead, and he'll just provide the 200%. And then, I guess, same applies to this. If you're running a full, I guess, Goku's family team, you could throw this guy as the lead, and then you're getting the 180% to stats, which obviously is a lot better than 170%, like I was talking about with this guy. But he's going to be pretty good. He does a lot of damage, and he builds up damage, so, you know, you can't really go wrong with running him either. He's got the active skill, which is from turn 4, so obviously that is very impressive. Probably should have put this guy on the list, actually, and talked about him before, because, yeah, this guy's going to be really crazy in this event. I mean, if you have these guys, just run them and you'll win, right? And a lot of people probably have them. This guy's featured on a lot of the top-tier banners. Same thing with him, same thing with him. He's been out for a while, so a lot of people probably have him. This guy just came out, so, you know, a lot of people probably have him because his banner is literally still ongoing. And then these girls aren't really that crazy because they haven't gotten their EZA yet. But if you really want to use them, I mean, I'm sure they'll be pretty useful, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess that pretty much is the video. There's a lot of other units I didn't talk about that you could bring. I mean, you know, most of these units are going to be pretty good in here. I would just say try to avoid using physical units because, of course, they have type disadvantage in here. But other than that, go to town, dude. Use whoever you want and whoever you got in your box, which probably is going to be a lot of these units because, again, really top tier category. So yeah, I guess that has been the video. Let me know what team you're going to be running down in the comments. I'm sure this video didn't really help any of you because, again, Pure Sans is a pretty top tier team. I'm sure a lot of you probably already know who you're going to be bringing, but Dokkan's just a little dry right now, so still I figured I'd make the video regardless. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which EZA you're looking forward to more with the Gogeta and the Vegito, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.